Some of the tour professionals, to be specific, Dustin Johnson, plays golf with a severely strong grip. But over his career, he's been able to win major championships, tournaments alike. The question is, how has he done this? What is the secret to playing golf with a strong grip for these tour pros? Well, if we were to take this strong grip and I just make my way back and forth just from this angle, the club wants to always naturally close down. This toe end of the club wants to naturally overtake the heel, just because my trail hand, being my right hand as a right-handed player, is severely underneath the grip, and my lead hand is severely on top of the grip. So when I make my way back and forth, it shuts down the club face. But however, if we were to grip the club as normal, what we call neutral grip, and we take this club back and forth, we don't really need to do anything excessive to bring that club back to square. But with a strong grip, as I've just mentioned then, it will close down the club face too much. So the secret to this is forwarding the hands even more so. If we forward those hands even more so, I can eventually get that club face return back to square. So the secret to playing golf with strong grip is forwarding the hands even more so at impact and holding this angle so we can screw up the club face. But the question is, how can we do this? It's very difficult to do when you're swinging the club at 70, 80, 90 miles an hour, especially with the driver. Well, a lot of golfers really struggle to do this simply because they don't rotate enough in the downswing and they allow this angle just to release too early. It's not rotating enough in the downswing. If we swing all the way up to the very top of our swing with the strong grip, and I just stop from this position here and let my hands come down, my club face there is eventually going to rotate, just like I showed you in that example earlier. So therefore, we're going to see them too far left. If I try and rotate a bit more, but then I allow the club angle to release anyway naturally, just like we would do with a neutral grip, it's going to go left again. So what we've got to do is combine these two metrics, adding that extra rotation into the downswing, but also forwarding those hands even more so, holding that shaft angle, that shaft lean throughout impact. And there's a device I'm going to introduce you that can help these two things. And this is the Tour rotation stick. The Tour rotation stick acts as a little stick that hangs onto the end of the club you're using. You're going to rest it on the left side of the body and watch what happens when I get this strong grip, swing up to the top and just allow my hands to come down first. No rotation from the body. Look what happens. That stick is touching my body. What happens if I actually rotate like normal, but allow that release to happen naturally? Again, that rotation stick is hitting the body. So to stop them from going too far left, we've just got to avoid that stick. And when we avoid this stick, look what happens here. It allows me to develop more rotation on the way through and hold that shaft lean, that excessive shaft lean, all the way through to hit the golf ball. You can see there, the feeling for me here is keeping those hands ahead, pushing them almost like a cricket swing on the way through, a cricket shot, as I'm rotating even more so out the way. And when I say out the way, I'm just rotating my left hip away from where the golf ball would be, so around this point here, rotating out the way, really forcing those hands to stay ahead. As soon as we let this angle go, that Tour rotation stick is going to hit the bodies. Now I'd start off when using the Tour rotation stick with small swings, trying to keep that shaft lean forward. So really exaggerating this now. I've got a very, very strong grip there, as you can see. I'm just going to make a few swings back and forth, just making sure I avoid that stick there. And straight away, I have just hit one a little bit out to the right. So I've really exaggerated that forward shaft lean. I've allowed my body to rotate on the way down. I've not stopped on the way down. I've pushed that rotation all the way through and round to finish. Massive thanks to Golf Swing Systems for giving me the opportunity to come down and film at their great indoor golf facility, hosting 3 indoor bays as well as a Zen green stage. If you're looking for any training aids on the market or building yourself one of these fantastic indoor golf facilities, Golf Swing Systems is the company I highly recommend getting in touch with. When I say bigger swings, I want you to feel now that 3/4 backswing, getting that full turn, and then 3/4 finish on the way through. So we're still trying to hold the hands staying ahead all the way up to this point here. See if we can do it, and you'll be able to feel yourself forcing that extra bit of rotation all the way through. As soon as we let the hands go, the body just stops rotating. So hold the angle and force yourself to rotate even more. Look at me here. My chest is facing towards this side of the wall rather than the target. So slightly bigger swings, trying to hold that angle, adding that rotation. That was good. Really forced my hands to stay ahead of the club then. It just hit me at the end there simply because I was swinging a lot quicker. And because this is quite a flexible material with a carbon-like finish, you are going to find that when you increase the speed doing this, it's going to get harder and harder to stop this from touching you. So really, really exaggerate that rotation and holding that angle as much as you can. Now, just after hitting a couple of shots there with that 3/4 swing, I've only hit one left of my target realistically, just looking at those results there. That just shows how powerful holding that shaft lead is and adding that extra bit of rotation. But how does this work and apply for the fuller swings? Because we're going to be going even faster. Therefore, we need even more rotation or turning of the body earlier to stop this stick from hitting us. So just as a little bonus tip for this, all I'm going to get you to do is feel like once you make your way in the downswing, your lead shoulder and lead hip are rotating away from the golf ball even more so. So we mentioned before we were trying to get the lead hip to move away from the golf ball as we're moving forward in the downswing, but I'm also now getting that lead shoulder to move forward. You can see that my hands are beginning to work in this direction here, almost like we're cutting across the ball a little bit. That's going to help limit the curvature to the left. If I work on those hands, staying left and round, swinging round and low, as opposed to high and right. If I swing high and right, I'm coming severely from the inside. It's very easy for me to let that club release, and therefore we get that slinging hook. If we can do the opposite and allow that shoulder and hip to rotate away, force those hands to work more underneath, as opposed to going more to the left than the right, that's going to reduce the curvature and help the shots. So I'm going to try and make a couple of full swings now. I will have to hold it off at the end to try and avoid this stick from touching me, but let's see what we think. So full swings with the training aid, and then we'll finish with a few without it. Look at that one straight away. Set off right, curved right back onto my target. A little bit short, just because of the strike. Just a quick shout out to GX Golf. They provide high quality golf clubs for a fraction of the price in comparison to the rest on the market. Using my discount code below Harry10, you can get yourself a great 10% discount. I'd highly recommend you check them out and see what you think for yourself. So feels for me here, I'm adding that extra rotation on the way down as I'm keeping my hands ahead of the club, really holding that angle on the way through. Yeah, that was much better. Look at that one. So we've set it off to the right, it's curving back on target. Lovely shot there. One of the longest ones going over 200 yards with a 6-iron. You'll notice these go a little bit further because of the way we're forwarding the shaft. And when we forward the shaft, it's going to reduce the loft. So reducing the loft, they're going to go further as opposed to shorter. Yep, another nice shot. Didn't quite hold the angle as much. But again, another golf shot going just under 200 yards. And you could see there how difficult it is for me, being a scratch golfer and professional, to do this. Now and again, I still have that tendency of early releasing, so a strong grip is very difficult for me to play with. But this is the key, the secret to playing golf with a strong grip, just like Dustin Johnson does, and is able to hold that angle and square up the club face beautifully. So if you're a player out there at the moment playing golf for strong grip and are struggling to make changes to this grip, I'd highly recommend taking these movements in the downswing on board in your own game. The tall rotation stick just makes it so much easier for you to get that sensation of adding the extra rotation and holding those hands ahead of the club face. Excessive shaft lean is the key secret. But the question I'm going to leave you is, how should this work with the driver? Well, in this video over here, we're going to be diving into the specifics on how this should work with the driver. So make sure you go and check that out and subscribe, as there's lots more content coming to you just like this one every single week. Thanks for watching.